Alright, so for our case, we're going to be building inside of the Corsair Carbide Air 240. I really like this case because it's compact, and I wanted to try a cube case. And also the cable management is really easy on this because it's dual chamber. All the cables go into, is it this side? I'm not sure. But anyways, so that's the case. So for our storage, I'm going to be going with a 240GB Kingston SSD for the operating system, Windows 10 Home here. And then also, I'm going to be going with a 2TB Seagate Barracuda 7200 RPM hard disk drive. For our motherboard, I'm going to be using the Asus Prime B350MA. So this is a Ryzen board, chipset B350. Yeah, it's a pretty good board. I was going to get a cheaper one, but this was all that was really in stock. So for RAM, I'm going to be using the Giel Superloose DDR4 2400 MHz 16GB kit. So there's that. So for our power supply, I'm going to be using the Thermaltake TR2 series 80 plus 650 watt power supply. It's not the greatest power supply, but it should do well with 80 plus and 650 watts of power. And here we go, here's the exciting part. So we have the Ryzen 5 1600 CPU. I had no idea how big this box is compared to my hand. So there's that, I'm really excited about it. And finally, our graphics card. Today I'm going to be going with the RX 480. I found this card 1 month old on eBay for $380, pretty good deal. And yeah, so let's get right into the build. So we have our motherboard here, anti-static bag here. What's in here? Alright, so we've got our SATA cables. So what we need is 2. I think that's just 2, so that's good. Our I/O shields and our guide, or motherboard manual and drivers, which we won't be needing. But here's our I/O shield. I will go ahead and install that now. How does one actually get this thing in? So here we have the Wraith Spire cooler. I've heard some pretty good things about it, so this should be enough to cool my CPU. Let's see if we can get this in properly. Let's do the CPU cooler next. Alright, let's go ahead and install this CPU cooler. Basically, I tried putting this on, and then I realized that I hadn't put the CPU in properly, and the pins were all out. And I opened it to make sure that I hadn't damaged any of the pins. Thankfully, all the pins were intact. However, I did manage to mess up a little bit of the thermal paste, and I got a bit on my fingers, but whew, I put it back in, and I've finally installed it. That's like, whew, wow, that was really, really stupid. I'll just be hoping it will actually boot up. Anyways, next step. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and install the RAM now. So here we have our 16 gigs of DDR4 2400. All right, let's open this thing up. All right, so we have our 2 DIMMs here. It's all good. Next one. I think that's that. Let's go ahead and install the motherboard. Alright, now that those are out, let's install our custom fans. We have 3 of them, so we're going to put 2 here and 1 in the back. Now, these fans do not come with Molex adapters, so I did end up picking a couple up here, just in case there isn't enough room on the motherboard. Looks like we're good. Alright, so let's go on to the next step. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and install the power supply now, so I'm going to flip this thing over. Alright, so let's do this. Alright, so I'm going to start with my hard drive here, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so let's put that in. Alright, I think that's in. Sweet, let's put that back in there. Alright, so let's do the SSD now. Let's open this thing up. Alright, let's put this in. Awesome, let's put that in. Awesome. Alright, so I think most of the rest is just cable management now, so I'm going to go ahead and put the front panels back on and finish screwing in the fans. And I'm going to start with the cable management. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and unravel all these cables here, and I'm going to route the ones that I need to route through. Alright, so I'm going to route the 24 pin cable through this hole. And we have our, we have a 24 pin here, and our 4+4 here, which will come through from the top there. Alright, so I routed the cables that need to be routed to the front chamber. After about an hour or two of cable management and cable plugging and all that, we've got all those things plugged in. I think that's everything except for the graphics card. Alright, let's install this thing. Well guys, that is it. So I have finished building it. I put the graphics card in, the glass panel on. I haven't connected the fan headers yet because I actually could not find the fan headers on the motherboard. Anyways, we'll figure it out. There should be fan headers somewhere on the motherboard. I'll just have to keep looking. It's time to see if it'll boot up. This is it, the moment of truth. Alright, so it boot up and I installed the last few fans. Two of them I had to plug into Molex because I could only find one CPU fan header. The cables are a little messy up the top there, but I'll try and fix that. And these cables I'll probably color black Sharpie over or something. So yeah, it's time to install Windows. Alright, so I'm just editing now, and it's actually quite a while later. I actually didn't edit this video until I think today's the 1st of September. So this video is quite a bit late. But anyways, I've kind of synchronized the lights, and I've colored those cables black with a Sharpie. And I've also done a lot of cable management up there. Like I tucked the CPU power cable up behind that fan, as well as the fan cable, and yeah, it's looking very nice. As you can see, I'm very happy with it, and I did make a lot of mistakes, but we got it in the end. First computer build. Thanks for watching.